Hello book friends, I'm Allie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the end of the year tag. I am going to talk about books that I want to finish before the end of the year. Pretty sure that's what this tag is all about. I will link the original creator down below if it's still active. I'm not 100% sure if it is. But either way, I saw Murphy do this on her channel. I will link her down below. And I thought that this was a pretty cool tag, so I figured I would do it too. So let's talk about some books. The first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? So the short answer to this is yes. I have started a few books this year that I need to finish, but two that I really want to focus on finishing before the end of the year are Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, which I'm buddy reading with my husband, and The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. I'm pretty sure I started this last November, and I've kind of picked it up off and on throughout the year, and still haven't finished it. Not because I'm not enjoying it, just because I put it down and just kind of forgot about it for a little while, because I love this writing style. It's really, really great. And I was enjoying the characters because the character building is phenomenal in this book. I just hadn't picked it back up yet. So I would like to do that before the end of the year and try to finish it because I really like this book. And I'd like to read the other two in the series. And of course, Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, I've heard is great. I'm about 20 pages or so into it, and my husband and I are reading this together, so I would really like to finish it before the end of the year with him so that we can chat about it together. Next question. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I don't particularly know what it means by autumnal book, but I do have a certain genre that I enjoy reading in the autumn that transitions well into winter, at least for me, and that is like cozy mystery type books. And I have A Study in Charlotte, which I think this is actually Charlotte. I believe that that's how that's supposed to be pronounced. A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallero. And I am really excited to read this. It's about the descendants of Holmes and Watson. The descendant for Holmes is a girl who's very witty and snarky, and the descendant for Watson is a boy who I think doesn't want to be attracted to her, but possibly is, and they have to go onto a school campus and solve a mystery, and it just sounds great. And I would love to be picking this up soon and reading it going into these colder months because I just enjoy a good mystery. Next question. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? Yes. The Ready Player 2 book from Ernest Cline is supposed to be coming out, I believe, in December. I think, or possibly the end of November. I'm not 100% sure. I have it saved on my Amazon cart. I kind of have mixed feelings about that book because I loved the first book. That was one of my favorite books that I read a couple years ago, and I am concerned that the second book might ruin the first book for me, and I don't want that. So I'm very excited for it, but at the same time I'm very hesitant for it because I am not sure how to feel about it. But I will be picking it up, and I will be reading it eventually, so I'm looking forward to that coming out. And even though I have not read the Stormlight Archive yet, I'm looking forward to Rhythm of War coming out because I am going to be reading those books, and so I will be picking it up eventually too. Next question. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? The first book that I would like to read before the end of the year is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I have already talked about this one. I am really excited to read it because I've seen so many great reviews and I think I'm really going to like it. So I definitely want to get this one finished before the end of the year. I've also already talked about this second book as well, and that is Well Played by Jen DeLuca. Read the first one, loved it, already talked about it, so I'm not going to talk about it again, but I really want to finish this before the end of the year because I just really enjoy her writing. And this last one, I actually haven't talked about very much, but it's a book that I've really been excited to read, and I really want to try to read it before the end of the year because I've been so excited to read it, and I've heard a lot of people say that they really like the series, and that is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that, but this book, like, I love this cover, and I have heard people say how great this book is, and it is definitely chunky. But I am just really excited. The premise sounds like something that I'm really going to enjoy. And so I can't wait to read this. I can't wait to get the rest of the series as well. I haven't bought the rest of the series yet because I want to finish this one first and make sure that I like it. But I have really high hopes for this book, and I'm really excited to get to it. Next question. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? So going backwards a little bit, I do think that if I get to this book and I finish it before the end of the year, that this might be a favorite book of the year. I just think that the premise sounds like something that I'm going to love, and I am very hopeful that I'm going to really get into this book and this series because it just sounds like a really good time. I really like the 1001 Nights story. I really like Aladdin, and this seems like it's a blend of all of those types of stories that I really enjoy. And so it's got magic, and it's got jinns, and it's got just all kinds of stuff that I personally enjoy. So we'll see. And the last question, have you already started making reading plans for 2021? Honestly, I make my reading plans at the end of December usually, or like right at the beginning of January, and so I don't really have any specific reading plans. I do want to try to raise my reading goals for next year since I was able to surpass 60 books on Goodreads. This year, I would like to try to read more than that next year. I really have faith in myself that I can surpass it next year and set the bar just a little bit higher. But I also have all of these books and several new books, specifically over here, that I have purchased, and I would like to try to read a lot of the books I have on my shelves before I go too crazy buying new books, which I told myself at the beginning of this year that I was going to try to read everything on my shelves, and then I bought so many more books, and I'm sure that you can probably relate. But next year, I'm really hoping that I can focus more on what I've got here and try to read some of these books that I'm really excited for, and then go into some new books. And hopefully I will stick to that goal in 2021 because it is probably one of my main goals, which I'm sure a lot of people have that backlist TBR goal, and it's just part of being a book lover and book hoarder that we all love to have books, and we all are excited about different books coming out, and you just get ahead of yourself buying books and you don't mean to. But that's okay, because it's good to have a passion for something. So that's my end of the year book tag, and I am hoping to finish up some pretty thick books for the end of the year. I probably don't have time for the books that I'm hoping to read, but it is what it is. I'm still going to give it a shot. These are the books that I hope to be reading at the end of this year. If you have read some of these and you'd like to talk about them, drop me a comment down below. Or if you're interested in some of these, let me know. What's a book that you're wanting to read before the end of the year? I would love to talk about it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.